Your brain is being lied to right now. Not metaphorically, literally. The image your eyes are sending it has a massive blind spot your brain fills in with guesswork. The sounds reaching your ears are being processed and slightly delayed before you perceive them as now. The sensation of your body sitting in whatever position you're in is a model your nervous system is actively constructing, not passively receiving. You are not experiencing reality. You are experiencing your brain's best current prediction of reality, updated constantly, wrong in specific and reproducible ways. This isn't philosophical speculation, it's measurable. Researchers can trick your brain into feeling a rubber hand as part of your body, into seeing motion that isn't there, into tasting sweet when nothing sweet is present. The tricks work consistently, across cultures, across ages, on people who know the trick is coming and can describe exactly how it works. Knowing you're being deceived doesn't stop the deception. Your brain processes the trick faster than your conscious awareness can intervene. Buckle up, because the conglomerate of little guys running your sensory experience have been running a simulation this whole time, and it has some very specific, very exploitable bugs. Modern neuroscience has largely settled on a framework called predictive processing, the idea that your brain doesn't passively receive sensory information and then build a picture of reality. It does the opposite. It generates a constant prediction of what reality should look like, feel like, sound like, and then uses incoming sensory data only to correct that prediction where it's wrong. This is computationally efficient. It's faster and cheaper to update a model than to build one from scratch 60 times a second. But it means your perception is fundamentally a hypothesis. Your brain is guessing, and sensory input is just the error correction signal. The thalamus router and the prefrontal cortex run this predictive loop constantly, top down, filling in gaps. This is why optical illusions work, even when you know they're illusions. Your brain has committed to a prediction about the parallel lines being different lengths, and the actual retinal signal telling it they're the same isn't strong enough to override the committed model. The model wins. You keep seeing the illusion. Neuroplasticity carved those shortcuts so deep that conscious correction can't reach them. In 1998, researchers at Carnegie Mellon published a paper describing what became one of the most replicated findings in sensory neuroscience, the rubber hand illusion. The setup is simple. A participant sits with their real hand hidden behind a screen and a rubber hand placed visibly in front of them. An experimenter strokes both the real hand and the rubber hand simultaneously with a brush. Within roughly 60 seconds, the majority of participants report feeling the touch on the rubber hand. More strikingly, if the experimenter then threatens the rubber hand with a hammer, participants flinch and show measurable galvanic skin response, a stress reaction, as if their real hand were being threatened. The mechanism is multisensory integration. Your brain combines visual input, tactile input, and proprioceptive signals. And when visual and tactile information are synchronized in space, it updates its body ownership model to include the object producing that synchrony. Your brain doesn't have a hardwired list of which body parts are yours. It infers ownership continuously from synchronized sensory input. Fool the synchrony, you fool the ownership. This has been extended to full body illusions. Using VR headsets feeding participants a live camera view from a slightly displaced perspective, researchers have induced people to feel their self has shifted to a different location in space. The limbic system threat response, measurable heart rate, skin conductance, activates as if the perceived body location is real, not the actual one. Body ownership is not a fixed fact your brain knows. It's a real-time inference it's continuously making, and it can be wrong. The McGurk Effect is a pure physical violation of what you thought your ears were doing. If you play someone the audio syllable ba while showing them a video of a mouth saying ga, most people hear da, a sound that exists in neither the audio nor the video. Their brain combined the auditory and visual streams, found they contradicted each other, and generated a compromised perception that wasn't in either input. The effect is involuntary. You can know it's happening. You can watch the demonstration, be told exactly which sound is playing, and still hear da. The 260-pound bruiser of multisensory integration overrides your deliberate attempt to hear the actual audio because your brain prioritizes its reconciled model over the raw signal. The same principle runs through taste. Studies using colored dyes have caused trained wine experts to describe white wine as having red wine characteristics when it's dyed red. Visual input about color, a signal your brain strongly associates with flavor profiles, overrides the actual chemical signals from the taste receptors. The tongue is reporting correctly. The brain is editing the report before it reaches conscious experience.
Food companies know this. Restaurant lighting is designed specifically to manipulate this cross-modal system. The crunch sound of a chip has been shown to affect how crispy people perceive it to taste. Louder crunch, crispier taste, even when the chip is identical. Your gustatory cortex is being influenced by your auditory cortex in real time, and you experience the result as objective flavor. The placebo effect is the brain's predictive model running so hard it generates physical outcomes. When you take a pill you believe will reduce pain, your brain, running its predictive model of your body's future state, can release actual endorphins in anticipation. Real opioid molecules, manufactured internally, binding to real receptors, producing measurable pain reduction. Not imagined, chemically verified in cerebrospinal fluid. The effect scales with expectation engineering. Larger pills work better than smaller pills. Branded pills work better than generic ones at the same dose. Injections work better than pills. A doctor who communicates confidence produces better outcomes than one who hedges. None of this should affect the pharmacology. All of it does, because the pharmacology is partly happening inside the patient's predicting brain, not just in the molecular interaction of drug and receptor. The nocebo is the same mechanism inverted. Expect side effects, and your brain generates them from nothing. Clinical trials of inert pills show nocebo rates that mirror the side effect profiles patients were told to expect: nausea, headache, fatigue, produced by a sugar pill because the prediction was strong enough to run the physiological program.
Your nervous system is not just reporting your body's state, it is actively constructing it based on what it predicts the state should be. Here's where it gets genuinely uncomfortable. If perception is a predictive model continuously updated by error signals, and the placebo shows that model can generate real physiology, then the line between brain being tricked and brain doing its normal job starts to dissolve. Every perception you have is technically a controlled hallucination. Your brain is running and cross-checking against sensory input. The difference between normal perception and illusion is just the size of the error signal. Optical illusions work because the error signal from your retina isn't strong enough to override the prediction. Hallucinations in psychosis work because the prediction system has become so dominant, it generates experiences with no external error signal at all. This means your brain isn't being tricked by illusions. Your brain is always doing the thing illusions exploit. The trick just reveals the mechanism.
And the mechanism, it turns out, is the same one generating your entire experience of reality right now. The philosophical path unknown here is whether a system that good at constructing reality can ever be certain it's encountering the real thing, or whether it's just too confident in its own model to notice the difference. So your body ownership is a real-time inference your brain can get wrong in 60 seconds. Your senses lie to each other constantly, and your conscious experience is the edited result. Your brain can generate real pharmacology from expectation alone. And every perception you've ever had is a prediction your nervous system committed to before the actual data arrived. The tricks don't reveal a flaw in your brain. They reveal how it works, and it's been working this way the whole time. You made it to the end, which means the exit fee is due. 1 subscribe. That's the toll.
I'm flipping this tablet around like I'm expecting a tip, and you're paying it in the form of a like. Don't, and I'm assuming your MHC molecules are incompatible with mine. And given that your brain is already constructing this interaction as more real than it technically is, maybe just go with the prediction. Stay wrinkly, apes. See ya.